Hello? Welcome to another Subconscious episode. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about what it means to be seeing yourself or meeting yourself in a dream. So, what does it mean when you do meet yourself? It can be kind of alarming at times, it could be surprising, perhaps a little spooky depending on what's going on in your dream. Oftentimes, it means that you're meeting a rational part of your sleeping self, or it could mean a reflection of how you act or behave during your waking hours. What's really interesting is to pay attention to the age of yourself that you meet. For instance, if you meet yourself as a younger version of you, it means that you might be feeling nostalgic about something, or perhaps you might be remembering something from your past, or perhaps miss something from your past. Once again, going back to the nostalgic factor. If you're also meeting yourself from the past, it could mean that you've been seeing a lot of children lately and you kind of miss being a child. It could mean that you're trying to remember something that happened a long time ago if you meet yourself when you were a kid or a teenager. Another reason that you might see yourself in your younger state is perhaps you went through a town that you once grew up in when you were younger, or you heard a song that reminded you of something long, long ago, and your subconscious kind of remembers that. And when your subconscious remembers that, you tend to see yourself in that younger state. If you're meeting yourself in the present, it means that you're trying to face something that's going on in your present life. Or you either might be hiding something, or you may not necessarily want to admit something, and by seeing your present self in a dream means that that part of your mind is trying to say, hey, maybe what it is that you're trying to hide or trying to accept is okay, and you're kind of giving yourself like assurance of what it is that is currently going on in your life. Perhaps you're using yourself as a guide or guidance, maybe when friends are not there to give yourself advice, so it's a way of coping with whatever the situation might be. If you see yourself as an older person, now this is where things get very interesting. Similar to when you see children in your waking life, perhaps you've been seeing a lot of elderly folk in your dreams. Depending how old you actually are in real life, if you are currently a child and you meet yourself as, say, a teenager or an adult, it means that you might want to grow up a little too quickly, or you are really curious as to what it's like to be an adult. If right now you are a teenager and you're dreaming of yourself a little bit older, it's kind of a similar type of thing. Like, you might feel tied down to your current life and you want to feel a sense of freedom. If you're currently an adult and you see yourself as an elder person, it means that perhaps you want a sense of peace of mind from all the hustle and bustle that's going on in your adult life, and you want to know what it's like to be older, to have that peace of mind, to relax, perhaps looking forward to retirement. And by meeting that older self, once again, you're kind of giving yourself a coping situation and giving your own self this personal advice. Oftentimes, dreams are ways of kind of keeping ourselves sane in a way, because whatever it is that we're wishing in our waking life, we can make anything that we want happen in our subconscious state. So it's important to take note of the expressions that we're giving ourselves, what it is that we're seeing, other symbols that might be in the dream. All of that takes account into what it is that you're seeing. The last thing is, which is something that I'm currently drawing in this picture, is if you're talking to yourself on the phone. Now, this is actually a dream that I had very recently, which was talking to my younger self on the phone. And so I didn't technically see them face to face, I was simply just talking to them. And that kind of goes towards the advice factor. Maybe you're looking for some advice, or you're feeling nostalgic, or you're trying to remember something. And you kind of are almost wondering what it would be like to have a conversation with yourself, like a what-if scenario. Sometimes media can encourage that, like oftentimes in a lot of movies that you might see. In my case, I was thinking about a movie called Mirai. And when I was thinking about this movie, a lot of times in that movie, for those that haven't seen it, there's this little toddler that is constantly thinking what it would be like to meet future versions of himself. So I was thinking of kind of the opposite factor of that, what it would be like to talk to my younger self. How interesting would that be? Would I have a lot of things in common with myself when I was younger? So that's where that dream kind of came to be. I was also in the mood to do something a bit more realistic than I normally do. I was feeling the itch to do something more detailed, so this particular piece I'm doing in a program that's called Procreate, and that's on the iPad, by the way, the iPad Pro specifically. And what's nice is more recently you can actually have Procreate on not just iPad Pros, but you can also have them on other variants of the iPad. So I'm using an Apple Pencil with this drawing and going in with lots of details, using kind of a photo reference to give myself this kind of look that I'm trying to achieve in this picture. So hope you enjoy the realism that I attached to this picture. And of course, once again, hope you really liked the analysis that I had to say. Hope you enjoy the picture itself. If anybody wanted to share any kind of dreams that they've had recently, I would love to know what kind of dreams that you've had, if you've had a similar type of dream, what it was like, what you happen to remember about that dream. Yeah, feel free to comment. And if you enjoy what you see, feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell to get notifications every time I update. I typically update on the weekends, so yeah, feel free to join in on the dream and the subconscious conversation. I'll see you with another video, and sleep well, everyone.